Alright, today I have a lot of weather to talk about. We have several severe weather events lined up, and today is also one of those days of significant severe weather. So, today, on Friday, we have this marginal risk, and that's going to be driven by damaging winds mainly, but we do have a pretty fast risk over here. We have all of this area covered in the 5% chance by if the chances of tornadoes are lower if you're in this high hashed risk, but if you do see a tornado, it has the potential to become strong fast. So in this red area or this yellow area, you need to be prepared, and I would be hyper weather aware today. Anybody in this red, anybody in this brown area, you need to be hyper weather aware too. And I would say anybody in this hashed risk really needs to keep an eye on the weather pattern today. But I would still be weather aware in the 2% chance without a hashed risk, but it's just not as concerning. And then if we go down to the damaging wind threat, we also have a hashed risk for damaging winds over here. Kansas City or in that, so we are expecting some significant winds possible today also. And then if we go to hail, that's really what's the most concerning. Other than tornadoes, we have this hail threat, and I would be prepared for some large hail, over baseball size hail, so please be prepared for that. Alright, let's look at this at the HRRR model and see how these cells are actually forming according to the HRRR model. So we have this slight risk over here, and with the new SPC outlook system, I really don't know why the slight risk is here, but let's just take it seriously. Anybody in this area also needs to be prepared for some damaging winds and maybe some large hail. Let's go over to this HRRR model. We have some early cells coming up, and these cells might produce some scattered severe weather possible, but it's not as likely. But the environment is still favorable, so please be prepared for also the earlier in the morning now. And then if we go to, this is when it really starts to get going. This would be around 21 o'clock, which would be around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. I know this is, I don't know what time zone this is in, but 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, we see these cells come through, and this is when the tornado threat is most likely. If we go to the tornado threat, you can see these big cells over here, and these are capable of producing long track tornadoes. So please be prepared, anybody in this area, around 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. We go forward just a little bit more, and it turns into kind of like just a squall line with some still scattered cells, so please be prepared there. Over here still has the severe weather potential by early in the morning, so please be prepared right there. This is Memphis. Maybe you'll end up seeing some severe weather. This is according to the HRRR model. It does sort of show a bow in there, so if this actually happened, it would be kind of concerning for severe weather there. And you can just see the line right there. So please be prepared today for that. It is a significant situation, and I think we should be expecting a lot of tornadoes, or at least some tornadoes in these areas. And this is earlier in the morning the next day, which is on Saturday. We have this line there, and that's what I was just talking about just a second ago. We do have this line, and that's why this slight risk is issued. This slight risk is issued, and this bow echo does look sort of concerning, this bow here. So we could see some really strong winds here. The tornado threat is a lot lower than the damaging wind threat, especially for our area. Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, you're in a risk tomorrow on Saturday. You're in the slight risk, which means you could see some isolated tornadoes and damaging winds and large hail. So please be prepared in Columbus, Ohio tomorrow. It's probably going to be earlier in the morning, if not like around noon when it gets to your area. And I don't know that I'll be able to go live, but I would just say please be prepared and follow the National Weather Service. If you have a no weather radio, that'll work out too. We have these cells here, and that's what we're watching. This is the biggest concern because we're going to see all these cells, and the environment is the most favorable here. So please be prepared here. This would be around 4 o'clock Central Standard Time in the evening. So we'll see how early these storms come through. If I show you the tornado threat, you can see these are the areas of concern for tornadoes right over here, and then right over here, which would be close to our area. The tornado threat would be very close to our area, so we'll see if the marginal risk extends to our area, because I'd say we have some tornado threat, but it's just really small. Columbus, Ohio, you're in the tornado threat. And then if we go to the damaging wind threat, we have this damaging wind threat, and that's why you have a slight risk. And then over here, I don't think we have any hashed risks, except for over here, this area, we could see some hail larger than baseball size. So please be prepared there. Anybody in this hash risk for large hail. And during all of that time, we're seeing some flooding issues. Over here, we have this big marginal risk, and that's going to be for flooding, and we're going to see this marginal risk. So please be prepared, anybody in these areas, for flooding, especially in this area, Fort Smith and stuff like that, Clarksville, which is in Texas, this is in Arkansas, and that's not going to be in Tennessee. But anyway, we have these areas that need to be prepared, especially Dallas, and Fort Worth. Those areas are also going to be dealing with flooding. Up here, we have this marginal risk, but we could be seeing some minor flooding there. Next day, we're on the marginal risk for flooding too. Anybody up here in Columbus, Ohio, also, you need to be prepared for flooding, and because you're going to see some heavy rain at times, which could cause flooding. I don't know if you live in a flood-prone area or not, but if you do, you need to be prepared. Over here in these areas, we're going to see more flooding and heavy rain. You can see Memphis, you're also in there. Please be prepared for that. Then the next day, we have this small risk for flooding. And of course, the next day also, and then the next day. So this would be on today, and this would be Saturday, this would be Sunday, this would be Monday, and this would be Tuesday. And by the way, Tuesday looks like another severe weather system. I'm going to show you the outlooks, because we actually have some extended outlooks, severe weather outlooks for Tuesday and Wednesday. So we have the slight risk for Tuesday, and so we're going to expect some more significant severe weather for that. Please be prepared to anybody in this area. And then we have another outlook, the day 6 outlook. We have this on Wednesday. We have this other outlook. Little Rock is included in that, and Dallas is right on the edge, so this is another risk for severe weather. Please be prepared, everybody, for the severe weather, because it's looking like there's going to be a lot of people affected by this. Millions of people. I'm talking a lot of people are going to be affected by these severe weather events several days in a row. And if I show you the surface-based CAPE, we do have a lot of that during this period, and that's what's causing the severe weather. Over down here, we're seeing a lot during this severe weather period. Down here is especially there. This is kind of conservative on it, so it's probably not showing as much as a lot of the other models are. So this is just the low end, and then this is our next concern. Around Monday, we see another push up, and that's going to cause our next severe weather event for our area. And I think that Texas in this area also is going to be experiencing severe weather on Monday, more than likely. It's too early to determine, but I do think that there is a potential on Monday. So we do have a lot of severe weather systems coming, but then really after Wednesday, that's really when things start to quiet off, and then we're going to see another break from severe weather, thankfully. And then after that, then our next look is for snow again. I know it sounds crazy, and the chances are low, but there is still the potential for snow. This would be on March 16th. It's super far out, but a lot of models are showing the potential for some more snow. I doubt it's going to be that significant, but hey, this far out, if we have snow, that would kind of be significant, or that would be kind of unusual. So we'll look at that, but that's pretty much all I have to say, except for we do have really warm temperatures. If we look at the warm temperatures, we're just going to continue to see warm temperatures Wednesday, March 11th. Then we do see a brief break here and there, but overall we're going to continue to see warm temperatures. And maybe as we get into middle March or later March, mid-late March, then that's when maybe we'll see some more cold temperatures. But I think overall we're starting to enter into spring. So with that being said, that's all the weather talk I have for you today. Please subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on. That way you don't miss out on any new videos. Please go to forecastmatt.com and sign up, and you get to view the weather for your area. Also, you get to watch videos on my website. So please please go there and watch my videos. Please go to my website and subscribe, and it's free of charge. Please subscribe to my channel and turn notifications on. That way you don't miss out on any new videos, and I'll see you in the next one.